Today, we tackle a topic that could change your life: the worst food responsible for fatty liver. The liver is an essential organ that constantly works to filter toxins, metabolize nutrients, and keep the body in balance. But what happens when we overload it with the wrong foods? The consequence is that the liver may start to malfunction. Fat accumulation in the liver, a condition already widespread among millions of people, often goes unnoticed until advanced stages. If you've experienced chronic fatigue, difficulty losing weight, digestive problems, or unexplained abdominal pain, these could be warning signs. The good news is that you can prevent the situation from worsening by starting with your diet. Today, I will reveal which foods damage the liver the most, including one particularly insidious one that you may consume every day without realizing it. This food, seemingly harmless, is the main culprit behind the global accumulation of liver fat. Do you want to find out what it is and how to protect yourself? Keep reading. Number 9. Industrial sweets and candies. You might think that a chocolate or candy once in a while doesn't hurt, but industrial sweets are among the main causes of fatty liver disease. These foods are full of refined sugar, corn syrup, and fructose, substances that the liver must process quickly. When you consume too much sugar, the liver converts it into fat, causing buildup and hepatic inflammation. Corn syrup, often used in sweets and drinks, is particularly harmful because it is linked to insulin resistance and increased liver fat. Unlike glucose, fructose goes directly to the liver, where it is converted into fat. Additionally, these products contain artificial colorings and preservatives that further overload the liver. Excess sugar also contributes to obesity, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular problems, creating a dangerous cycle of addiction and progressive damage. Fortunately, there are healthier alternatives, such as dark chocolate, unsweetened dried fruits, and homemade desserts with natural sweeteners. Number 8. Packaged snacks. Snacks like chips and corn snacks are crunchy and tasty, but they hide serious risks for the liver. They are loaded with trans fats, refined oils, sodium, and chemical additives that overload the organ. Trans fats, in particular, are poorly metabolized by the liver, promoting fat accumulation and worsening insulin resistance. Excess sodium causes water retention and increases blood pressure, putting both the liver and heart at risk. The additives, colorings, and preservatives present in these foods require extra work from the liver to eliminate them, leading to chronic inflammation and liver diseases. To protect your health, it's crucial to reduce the consumption of packaged snacks. But if these foods are harmful, wait until you discover which one is the absolute worst for your liver. Number 7. Donuts and industrial cakes. The combination of sugar and fats makes donuts and industrial cakes particularly harmful to the liver. These foods are rich in trans fats, refined sugar, and white flour, creating a mix that promotes fat accumulation and liver inflammation. Besides being irresistible, they are easily accessible, becoming a daily temptation hard to avoid. Trans fats, used to increase shelf life and consistency of products, are among the worst enemies of the liver. They increase bad cholesterol, reduce good cholesterol, and promote fat accumulation in the liver, causing chronic inflammation and irreversible cellular damage. Sugar adds additional problems, converting into liver fat, while chemical additives, colorings, and stabilizers further overload the liver, compromising its detoxifying function. To protect the liver, it's crucial to limit these foods. However, you can opt for healthier alternatives by making homemade desserts with ingredients like whole grain flours, natural oils, and less aggressive sweeteners, such as honey or coconut, sugar to satisfy your sweet tooth without risks. Number 6. White rice. White rice, one of the most consumed foods in the world, can be a silent enemy for the liver. Although it seems harmless, it is a refined carbohydrate that causes rapid spikes in blood glucose, promoting liver fat accumulation. When we eat white rice, its starch is converted into glucose, triggering a sudden rise in sugar levels and a massive secretion of insulin. Over time, this process can lead to insulin resistance, a key factor in steatosis. Moreover, white rice lacks fiber, unlike brown rice because its refining removes a lot of nutrients. This absence of fiber accelerates carbohydrate absorption, increasing the risk of overeating, weight gain, and liver damage. A diet rich in refined carbohydrates like white rice can also promote inflammation, accelerating the development of steatosis. To protect the liver, it's better to replace white rice with healthier alternatives, such as brown rice, quinoa, or black rice, rich in fiber, vitamins, and minerals that help stabilize glucose and reduce inflammation. We've reached the top 5. We're getting closer to the worst food for your liver. Number 5, processed meats. Cold cuts, ham, and bacon are tasty but harmful to the liver. Rich in saturated fats, sodium, and chemical preservatives, they overload the organ and promote liver fat accumulation. Excessive sodium causes water retention, increases blood pressure, and hinders the proper functioning of the liver. Nitrates and nitrites commonly used in these products transform into toxic substances that cause chronic inflammation and increase the risk of diseases such as cirrhosis or liver cancer. Saturated fats, moreover, accumulate in the liver, compromising its detoxifying function. To protect the liver, it's best to avoid processed meats and prefer healthier proteins, such as chicken, fish, or lean meat. Opting for natural cured meats without preservatives and following a diet rich in vegetables and whole grains can help keep the liver healthy. Number 4. Industrial pizza. Industrial pizza, although loved, hides risks for the liver. Made with refined flours, ultra-processed cheeses, and trans fats, it becomes a caloric and inflammatory bomb. The white flour base has a high glycemic index, causing glucose spikes that the liver must process, favoring liver fat accumulation. Industrial cheeses are rich in saturated fats and sodium, which increase inflammation and complicate toxin filtration. Low-quality oils and trans fats present in the dough and fillings worsen the problem, increasing bad cholesterol and the risk of liver fibrosis. Frequently consuming industrial pizza accelerates steatosis and insulin resistance. Number 3. Fatty meats. Meats like ribs, bacon, and pork are delicious but risky for the liver. Rich in saturated fats, they promote liver fat accumulation and increase inflammation, accelerating steatosis. The liver metabolizes fats, but excessive consumption overloads the organ, causing fat deposits that compromise vital functions like toxin filtration. Moreover, these meats negatively affect insulin resistance, altering blood glucose levels and increasing the risk of type 2 diabetes, closely linked to fatty liver disease. Cooking methods like grilling or frying at high temperatures generate toxic compounds, heterocyclic amines and aromatic hydrocarbons, that aggravate oxidative stress and liver inflammation. To protect the liver, prefer lean cuts like steak, loin, or chicken breast. Number 2. Industrial ice cream. Industrial ice cream, seemingly harmless, is one of the worst enemies of the liver. Rich in refined sugar, corn syrup, and trans fats, it promotes liver fat accumulation and inflammation. The high content of sugar and fructose is quickly converted into fat by the liver, accelerating steatosis. Corn syrup in particular is highly harmful because the liver processes fructose differently than glucose, increasing the risk of lipid accumulation. Trans fats, used to improve texture and stability, worsen liver inflammation and insulin resistance. If you love ice cream, choose healthier alternatives, such as homemade versions with frozen fruit, natural yogurt, and natural sweeteners like honey or erythritol. Consuming sweets in moderation helps avoid sugar spikes and liver overload. We have arrived at the worst food for the liver, the one that causes the most fatty liver, and should be eliminated from your diet as soon as possible. Number 1. Soft drinks. If there is one food to eliminate immediately, it is soft drinks and artificial juices. Seemingly harmless, these beverages are true sugar bombs and chemical additives that severely damage the liver. Their frequent consumption is linked to steatosis, insulin resistance, and chronic inflammation. The main problem is fructose and corn syrup, exclusively metabolized by the liver. Unlike glucose, which the body uses as energy, excess fructose turns into fat, overloading the organ and promoting liver fat accumulation, with risks of fibrosis and cirrhosis. Soft drinks contain enormous amounts of refined sugar. A single can may have up to 10 teaspoons of sugar. This overloads the liver, causing glucose spikes, insulin resistance, and a vicious cycle that worsens liver health. Even diet sodas are not safe. Artificial sweeteners alter gut microbiota, promote chronic inflammation, and impair liver regeneration. To protect the liver, it is essential to eliminate soft drinks and industrial juices from the diet. If you wish, subscribe to the channel to receive practical tips that will help you live with more energy and vitality. We are in a new phase of life, and becoming stronger and healthier is one of the most important goals we can pursue.